Thing to have you join us this morning on this beautiful day. It is Thursday. Yesterday was the Women Crush Day. Today is the Men's Old School Day. Yesterday, of course, was the Men's Day. So I would like to say Happy Men's Day in arrears to all the men out there. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and it's so good. I'm excited to have you join us on Global Morning today. And of course, Jumai Manson is right here. It's good to have you here again, Jumai.
Good morning, and it's great to be here to each and every one of you out there. Good morning, Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and happy International Men's Day in arrears.
I thought you were going to wish me happy. You know, if we don't remind the women, okay, they don't say it. But
No.
if it is their turn, if we venture
true.
forget, my God.
No, it's not true. It's not true. We have you
But
all
you
in
didn't
mind.
wish me happy Men's Day yesterday.
I was just caught up with a lot of, but happy International Men's Day.
that's
To
how
all
it
the
happens.
amazing men out there.
It's accepted.
Happy International Men's Day in arrears. We acknowledge what you do. You do so much. We are grateful for all you do. And God will continue to help and bless each and every one of you, okay?
That's beautiful. Thank you very much. All right, let's quickly get into the first conversation for this morning.
Yes.
And that's the issue of the fear of people going to worship in churches and mosques around the country.
Yeah.
This has drawn a lot of attention.
Yes, it has.
Nicki Minaj yesterday made a statement, and you can see the feeling. This is somebody feeling traumatized, just hearing of what's happening, watching videos on social media, and of course they have their searchlights beamed on Nigeria, of course,
Yes.
because the Americans cannot just come out and speak. Then sometimes you'll be tempted to ask, is it because of the statement by Donald Trump that there is some form of increase in this attack in the last few days? We've not finished talking about the abducted schoolgirls in Kebbi State.
We haven't.
Then before we know it's unleashing on a soldier, and of course, seeing soldiers that were injured in the hospital receiving treatment, then it's there in Ekiti State, in Ekiti local government of Kwara State, where, in fact, it's a gory sight. I saw the video and I was like, what's all this? What are these people looking for? And sometimes you will be forced to say that it's like, if nothing is being done, these people are gradually taking over some strategic positions in the country. Attention was in the north and north central.
Exactly.
Now it's in Kwara State. Nobody knows where the
Ekiti.
next strike is going to come. So it's becoming a worrisome situation as it is right now. The federal government have promised, as at yesterday in the papers, they said there will be a swift action to get these girls rescued. Then we heard, though I've not really researched that, I've not processed that information yet, that some soldiers who were going for the rescue were also attacked. Who is giving these terrorists information about the movement of the soldiers? Uba's death is causing a lot of controversy right now.
Yes, it is.
You can imagine someone who have escaped already, and sending his location to his troop, to his men, to come rescue him, to come pick him up. Then the next thing is, instead of seeing his men, he's seen his enemies, the terrorists, coming to lynch on him and, of course, taking his life. You know what it means. So, I don't know. The situation, we keep saying it. Well, kudos to the president who have refused to make his trip.
Oh, yes. I was going to mention
Because
that.
of the incident.
Oh, yes.
And that's to tell you that he's feeling it too.
Yes.
But sometimes the issue of security in Nigeria is the responsibility of everyone.
Yes, it is.
Personally, I am yet to feel the impact of the new service chiefs. No, we are not saying
I think it's too
our
early.
military is not working. No,
I think it's too
there
early.
is nothing like too early. This is a security situation. You're coming, see what's going to be. There is an area of priority for everything. As you're coming into office, you know your assignment. You're coming into global television as a presenter. you know what to do immediately.
No.
If there is a problem with presentation and you're coming to solve that problem, as you're coming in, the first thing you should be thinking of is how to solve that problem and the strategy,
Exactly.
the intelligence, the intelligence aspect of it. Because what we need now, I think, I don't know, but it's like so many things are failing Nigerians right now because Nigerians are feeling like they are left alone. Someone said something yesterday that at this point, it's like the military cannot defend the territorial integrity of the nation anymore, which is their core responsibility due to the happenings. These are combatant soldiers, very good as it has to do with artillery in Africa. You know, we have the best artillery soldiers in Africa, and we're having all of this. So I think the president sitting back to sit down and think, maybe strategize, speak with the service chiefs and get something done immediately is very important. But the most important thing right now is how to get these girls rescued.
Yeah, very important. You just hit the nail on the head when it comes to the rescue of these adopted schoolgirls in Katsina State. But it's an unfortunate incident because, like you said, security matters. It concerns you and I. It's our business. And it's becoming like the normal of the day. It's just unfortunate that that incident happened and then what played out in Ekiti State also. I saw the footage. It was very heartbreaking. Being in church, worshiping, or any religion, it could happen to whether the mosque or the church, it could be anywhere. And then the next year you're taken unawares by these armed men. It's just unfortunate that this is what it is. And I'm sure it had my own opinion. This is Jumai Manson's opinion now, saying maybe it's because of you know, the message that Donald Trump he passed and said the genocide that is happening in Nigeria, and people are trying to trigger that to paint us in that kind of light. But it is unfortunate though, and I pray the needful is done when it comes to rescuing of the girls. I pray that the troops, the military, like you said, like you're yet to feel the impact. People have to come to the drawing board. They just took over. It's barely a month, and I think it's too early to, you know, feel the impact of the service chiefs. I think
this
they have to
security
go.
Situation?
Yes, go to the drawing, but they have to strategize. Know areas in which they have to cover, loopholes in which they have to work with individuals. You know, all of these things are it's all about information, and strategies have to be put in place for them to work effectively. So let's just see how well it goes. But I'm sure they're capable to handle the situation by the grace of God.
All right. Let's keep our fingers crossed and see what will happen at the end of the day.
Yes.
Because we are Nigerians.
Yes,
already,
we are.
as we speak, the vice president is in Kebbi State.
Yes, he is.
Maybe he's speaking with the service chief and other persons that are supposed to do the needful. Maybe we should be hearing that the girls are released. May their case not be like that of the Chibok
yes,
girls.
please.
Because up to today, Leah Sharibo, nobody know her whereabouts. Well, she's not been found. I don't have that detail. She's not been found, as a matter of fact. But then the president has sent the vice president,
Yes.
Kashim Shettima, there, and of course he said no. G20 leaders in South Africa has to wait. My house can't be on fire.
Exactly.
And I am going to attend leaders program. Questions will be asked.
And you know, yes, questions will be asked, yes, of course, in that G20 summit. And at the same time, Ramsey, you know, most Nigerians will say the president doesn't care when things like this happen. He's traveling here and there. But this actually shows empathy. It shows sympathy that he feels the pain of the guardians and parents of these girls. And I must commend and say to the president that was a step in the right direction by postponing his trip and saying, oh no, I'm not going to go for this G20 summit. I'm going to wait to hear the news from these girls and what happened in Ekiti State before I move, to know that, like you said, putting your house in order. I think that's a step in the right direction. It shows that the president is very much involved in the happenings with individuals in our country, Nigeria. It shows that he's very empathetic. It shows that he's concerned. And I pray that the needful is done, very importantly.
That's our prayer. We pray that the needful is done anytime soon. Let's go on a quick break. Global Morning continues after this break.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
The federal government has enjoined the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors to suspend the ongoing industrial action, and of course, saying that the 19 puts its 20 listed demands have already been addressed.
Which is good.
And of course, I spoke, when that strike started, I spoke with a resident doctor who was complaining bitterly that he himself, was using himself as an example, his promotion, everything due him that he wasn't getting. And one of the things he said is the fact that there have been a lot of negotiations, but keeping to the promises is where the problem is. But if the federal government is coming out to say, well, as a matter of fact, suspend this ongoing industrial action, all right, everything has been addressed. It's one thing to address a situation. It's another thing to put in the action and find a lasting solution to that problem.
True.
One of the sectors that nobody on earth joke with is the health sector, because that has to do with human lives.
True.
You know, I was asking him during that interview when they embarked on the strike, and I was asking him, what will now happen to people who are the ICU, the intensive care unit of different hospitals across the country? And he said there are consultants, but as a matter of fact, the consultants are few and they may not be able to handle a quarter of the cases on ground, you know. And I was thinking, from when the strike started until now, how many people may have lost their lives?
Very true.
You know, how many people may have had emergencies? These are some of the things we should put into consideration. If any sector at all should go on strike, it shouldn't be the health sector. We are having issues with the Japa syndrome, the brain drain in our hospitals. And the few available in the country are going on strike. So what are we talking about?
You know what, Ramsey? You know, at the beginning of all of this, when the Japa syndrome happened, when most health workers, doctors, nurses, midwives were traveling abroad and they were getting that, what was due to them, that recognition that they are health people, you know, people who are in the health sector, they see what they're supposed to earn. And then some other individuals who are doctors, nurses, decided to wait behind and for the good of the nation. I think the needful needs to be done to appreciate these individuals. Like you said, health has to do with life. And when they are not taken seriously, it shows, it's giving this vibe like they do not know what they're doing. Because you see, medicine, when it comes to health, when it comes to nursing, it's hot cake abroad. Like, these individuals will get any job in the health when it comes to hospital at a snap of a finger. And then when they are the rest that are here and they're not getting all of that, it doesn't speak well of the government, really. And you said something. If any sector wants to go on strike, it shouldn't be the health sector. Yes, because at this phase, just this strike, There were pregnant women, there were individuals who were pregnant who were due to give birth, there were individuals that were due for surgery, there were individuals, in fact, and then no doctors, no nurses to attend to them. It is a serious problem. And I think we need to do a lot when it comes to, giving what is due to the health. They shouldn't even be the one to ask. We should give them that recognition that, hey, we appreciate what you do, we are thankful for what you do, but I think enough is not given in that particular sector. And not for all sectors are important, I always say, when it comes to education, power, all of that. But you see, health sector, I think we need to put a lot of effort in keeping them happy, really. That's me saying.
Well, Megari, the Minister of Labour and Employment,
yes,
Megari,
he said,
is appealing. He said, well, they should respect the law of the country.
Yes,
and of
I
course
saw that
suspend the strike. When I heard that, so many things came to my mind. Respect the law of the country. Would anyone want to respect? What is the disrespect for the law when someone is asking for what is due them? If the federal government is coming to tell us that, all right, a part of these, all right, has been paid them. In fact, some doctors are even saying they are tired of this part payment, just promises addressing the situation, and of course, going to do all of this. Well, let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return and we'll take you to the newspapers.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, you're welcome back, and it's Global Morning on Global Television. And at about this time, it's the newspaper review segment, and we'll start with the first paper of the day. It's the Nigerian Tribune. And above the nameplate of the Nigerian Tribune, it says Awolowo Foundation hosts national dialogue on women in politics 30 years after Beijing. And below the nameplate, it says terrorism, NLC, JNI, CAN, others call for decisive action. And of course, below all of that, it says here, police seal off PDP's Wadata Plaza, block access points. Obi blames crisis in PDP, LP, SDP on APC-led government, call on Trump to save Nigerian democracy, a national security threat. And that's from Wike. And you can get that read on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. And below that also, it says here, 230 million Nigerians will defeat 25 governors in 2027. And that's from El-Rufai, and you can get that read on page 24. Here it says, Ribado Egbetokun Fagbemi led 10-man federal government delegation to U.S. meet Congressman Moore, and that you will find on page 6. And that is all on the Nigerian Tribune. Go out and get yourself a copy and be well abreast with the news making round. Next is The Nation.
All right, let's quickly take you to The Nation's newspaper, where we have some headlines, some stories making round right there. And of course, beginning from the big story. The big story said, attacks Tinubu puts troops on highest ever red alert. Attacks, that's the rider and the kicker of the story. And it said Tinubu puts, of course, troops on highest ever red alert. As a matter of fact, we've talked about that, and sometimes you can see the reason why all of this is happening, just because we feel it's necessary for the people who are already in captivity to be rescued, because the parents of these children, nobody know how they are faring right now. As a matter of fact, the children, sometimes, like it happened with the Chibok girls, a lot of people speculated so many things.
Yes,
but
did.
Then, at the end of the day, what we're hearing is different. Then you have this one which says ISWAP leaders jailed 20 years over terror attacks. Capital gains tax to make markets more competitive, investor friendly. And of course, this one says Daniel remains bona fide APC member, put till Ogun chapter. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, the newspaper.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
to the nation's newspaper as we bring you more headlines. This one says Olubadan to elevate top Ibadan chiefs tomorrow. And of course, this one says capital gains tax to make markets more competitive, investor friendly, like I said earlier. And of course, the big story says, okay, I've taken the big story, just the right now, U.S. targeted killings claim has emboldened terrorism, says federal government. That's the same thing we're talking about a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Our capital market turnover hits 10 trillion naira. One rider to that story, and it says a foreign surplus rises on strong inflows. Okay, and of course we have this one. Police seal off PDP headquarters with barbed wire. Barbed wire everywhere. Well, let's see how that's going to end. Of course, the last story here says, worst of Boko Haram insurgency over says Zulum. Worst of
side, federal government accuses U.S. of inciting violent groups. And that is on page 4, also on The Guardian. Now on page 4 again, FG states local government share 2.09 trillion naira as October revenue. Now the Star story reads, outrage over rise in abductions, attack as army rallies 24,000 recruits, and you can find that read on page 6. Now below all of that, that's below The Guardian newspaper, it says Cross River to begin forensic audit of civil servants certificates in January, and that is on page 34. Now still on page 34, we have health workers strike will continue until federal government reviews CONHESS, that's CONHESS, and that is on page 34 also. Now, beside that, we have over 6,386 cargoes detained by NPF Customs incur 472.5 million naira daily demurrage. And close to the foot of The Guardian, it says 230 million Nigerians to unseat Tinubu, defecting governors, El-Rufai says. And you wonder what that is all about. But if you do, you have to flip over to page 35 of The Guardian. Now, Governor Yusuf presents 1.306 trillion naira 2026 budget. And you will find that read still on page 35. And that is it on The Guardian newspaper. Go out and get yourself a copy and well abreast. Next, Peak newspaper, Nigeria.
All right, let's quickly get to the Peak newspaper, Nigeria, and you can see the big headlines there, like we're talking about it a few minutes ago. And of course, Nicki Minaj calls for global support to protect religious communities in Nigeria. And above the nameplate, APC condemned PDP chairman Tanimu Turaki's call for foreign intervention in Nigeria. When the man is pressed to the wall, what do you expect of him? Because he said, well, it is not just Christian genocide that the U.S. should come tackle in Nigeria, that our democracy also needs to be saved. That's what Turaki said.
Okay.
That is, I don't know whether I should call him the legitimately elected chairman of the People's Democratic Party after the convention that was held in Ibadan. You know, after the attack, after the crisis, or should I say the fracas between the different factions at the Wadata secretariat of the People's Democratic Party, he was there and he said, he spoke to the press and it's everywhere, the world held it, that apart from Christian genocide, which is on, that the U.S. needs to come and save Nigeria from our democracy is also suffering, that it needs to be saved too, that the Americans, the U.S. should come save our democracy. And the APC is faulting that this morning to say, well, it is a condemnable statement according to the All Progressive Congress. Nigeria is in free fall. Dele Farotimi slams Tinubu over worsening insecurity. Tinubu delays South Africa Angola trips over Kebbi Kwara attacks. Nigeria grieves with Kebbi. Vice President Shetima says Kebbi's pain is Nigeria's pain. He's there already, so I think he has a first-hand information of everything that went down there in Kebbi State. We just pray. The way the federal government has promised already for a swift action, we're keeping our fingers crossed to see how soon the girls will return. Finally, from the Peak newspaper this morning, end carriage in Northeast. Can youth wing begs federal government? What are they begging them for? To end a carnage in Northeast. And that's the size of the headlines from the Peak newspaper this morning.
All right, next is This Day, and above the nameplate it says, at NISCO stakeholders meeting, FG vows estimated billing to end in 3 years. And we have some riders there, about 4 riders. Says Adelabu says WAP alignment will straighten nation's power grid, assures synchronization won't leave Nigerian standard, and it says reiterates $2 billion fresh incumbent. This is not clear, but it says here Mohammed declares NISCO well-maintained modality in all market decisions. And of course, that's a rider there, so please go out and get a copy to be well abreast. And it says Oluwarun 26 trillion naira pension assets fueling national development. And that's a part of the Star Story Day. It says U.S. Congressman confirms meeting FG's delegation over alleged Christian genocide. And the writer says, we stand by our position, says Khan. Another writer says, SGF U.S. genocidal claim encouraging extremist groups. Do I agree with that in a sort of way? Do I agree with that? Like, really? Because it was when this statement came out that all of these things are crippling. It has been there. No one was really talking about it, and there was no action made as swift as it is now. But, you know, with this now, do you think it's inciting other extremist groups to come out and perform and go out and all of these attacks?
If they can withstand the United States, they should come out.
No, because what that says is, you know, at a point, of course, we know that there were killings in some areas. It's not just Christians, even Muslims too are involved.
It's Muslims, pagans, free thinkers, everyone.
Exactly. But because that statement came out when Donald Trump says Christians are being killed, and now look at Nicki Minaj coming out and a lot of individuals, do you think it's part of the things inciting extremist groups from, you know, carrying out all these attacks in various parts of Nigeria?
What's happening now is even small compared to what has happened in the past.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So
because
it's not, I don't think it's inciting anything.
Really, Ramsey? Are you sure?
The statement from Donald Trump is inciting terrorists to terrorize more.
Extremist groups going now, because it wasn't as much as. Listen,
it was.
I know, but nobody spoke about it, and because there's always swift action. People are now.
People have died in their hundreds.
Yes, I'm
the ones
aware.
that happened in Kwara State.
Yes,
they stole money and took some lives. They went to a church. we've had situations before now where they get to a community and burn the whole community down with all lives
I understand.
going alongside
I
with the inferno. You know, so there is nothing more terrible than the lives that has been taken before now.
Yes.
So it's a continuation of what has been on. So what we should be talking about right now is how to salvage this situation.
Yes, but
either we do it ourselves, all right, intensify our intelligence, intensify our strategy, or maybe get one or two persons involved, as the case may be, based on the discretion of the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria, the president himself.
I completely understand, Ramsey. I am just saying that within the space of time, Kebbi, Ekiti, like it's just like it's back to back. Then it has happened. Benue. No. If you look at it, Benue, we'll talk about that for a very long time. But it's just back to back. So I'm just saying, do you think it's inciting this particular action?
It has happened like that severally before.
Okay, maybe
it's the ones that we know. Sometimes you hear of a strike in Kebbi, you hear in Taraba, you hear in Benue, you hear in Jos. You hear that some persons have been kidnapped traveling along Kogi Expressway, traveling in Benue. Just a few days ago, a young lady was shot to death going for her father's burial, and they have two corpses there. So our roads cannot, nobody can travel on our roads anymore, you know, so these things has been there. So whatever it is that is happening now is a continuation of what has been happening
before.
But so good that the government has promised a swift action to release the Kebbi girls, because that is a very worrisome situation right now. You can't even say what is happening to those girls right now. You don't know their states. Apart from the girls, their families are in trauma. Imagine the number of girls that were taken into captive. So all of this put together, I don't think the statement from Donald Trump is inciting anything. So that's what it means. So whether it is inciting or not, the federal government should know what to do. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, the newspaper review continues.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Welcome back from that break. In fact, it's a worrisome situation, but then there's nothing to be done about it for now. Just that the federal government is on it, and it's not something that can be done in just a day. So let's keep our fingers crossed. It's been a long time coming, so it needs a stronger strategy to get it eradicated. Let's get back to the papers.
Yeah, let's get back to this day newspaper. And the star story on this day reads, FG places nation's security on red alert. Yeah, I think that is a step in the right direction. Suppose that we can curb or nip all of this in the bud. Now below that it says NSITF visits Fubara to promote the adoption of employees compensation scheme. And basically that is all on this day newspaper. Next we have the Daily Independent.
All right, thank you very much, Jumai, for those headlines. Let's quickly get to the Daily Independent this morning. The Daily Independent have a couple of headlines, and I'll begin from both the nameplate, which says, Rising Day-Old Chick Price Strains Small Scale Poultry Farmers. All right, I think Christmas is coming, so we'll keep hearing this. A fresh attack. U.S. genocide claim has emboldened violent groups that is coming from the federal government. Some people may think this sounds like an excuse. Well, I think we need to go back to the drawing board.
Yes, we do.
So that the needful can be done. A big story now, which says KB schoolgirls abduction. That's the kicker. Tinubu shares your anguish. Shetima tells victims of families. Tinubu shares your anguish, your anger has been felt. How you feel, the president knows how you feel. Some writers to that story. Federal government vows to rescue schoolgirls. Ensure abductors face justice. Pledges support for families of girls. Slain general, vice principal. And of course, Tinubu shelves foreign trip over bandit attack in Kebbi and Kwara. And finally, Kebbi government releases names of 25 abducted schoolgirls. Well, I wonder how the family is going to feel about that. On page 7, we have the story which says Nigeria edges towards debt distress. Experts warn as revenue crisis deepens. A playing partisan song before judges. National pride desecration. That's coming from Article. And one writer to that story, and it says, judges don't sing on your mandate. All right. Okay. Governors defecting to APC, Nigeria's defecting to ADC. This Erufai talking. Oh my God, governors are defecting to the All Progressive Congress. Then Nigerians are defecting to ADC. All right. Let's see 2027.
It's becoming very controversial.
We'll see how the ball is going to roll in the field. I think well, I can't tell of the major opponents right now because PDP is going to be on the ballot, irrespective of the crisis that they are having now. ADC is going to be on the ballot. Labour Party is going to be on the ballot. But the question is, which party is really going to give APC a run for their money? Now, Nigerians are defecting to ADC, according to Erufai, the former governor of Kaduna State.
Yes, of course.
All right. JNI condemns abduction of KB schoolgirls, says tragedy avoidable. INEC reject Wike's backed Mohammed as PDP acting national chairman. That's right. INEC rejects Wike backed Mohammed as PDP acting national chairman. All right. I think that's what Nigerians are expecting because the convention that was held in Oyo State, okay, in Ibadan, INEC did not attend. Some person said it doesn't matter whether INEC was there or not. Fubara was not there. A few other governors were not there. But the BOT, the NEC, everyone that were there appointed a chairman and said, well, the crisis should be over. Let's have a leader. Then some persons were actually expelled from the party, which some Nigerians said it is long overdue. The likes of Wike, Fauci, Anyanwu, the former national secretary, you know, as it is, if INEC is saying the chairman of the faction is not recognized, then automatically Turaki, who was appointed from the convention, is the recognized chairman of the People's Democratic Party. So at least with this, at least for me, with this statement coming from INEC, the problem should be solved. All right. But then I don't think the problem is near being over yet.
Exactly.
But to write us to our story, Bui OT condemns invasion of secretariat by expelled members. They expel you from the party. Is to look for another party and just defect to another party or go and join another party.
Exactly.
You know, because it was even on the account of plain anti-party activities that this expulsion came.
Yes, it's
so
true.
it's just to pack your things and join the party that you were acting for or maybe working for, as the case may be. I don't think these leaders should put up that. Then finally, the second writer say, please seal party headquarters after Tuesday showdown. And the last headline from the Delhi Independent says, of course, army to rescue 24,000 soldiers to boost operational strength. All right, army to recruit 24,000 soldiers. That's it. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed and see how all of that is going to go. Let's get to the last paper for the day.
All right, the last paper for the day on the newspaper review segment is the Daily Trust. Now, below the nameplate, it says Senate wants foreign currencies used banned in Nigeria. And you will find that read on page 3 of the Daily Trust. Now, moving on now on page 27, it says here, we took $1 billion loan to support Dangote refinery, and that's from NNPCL. And of course, on page 7, it reads, reps probe non-delivery of tractors, harvesters in $754.2 million. That's 141.6 billion naira deal. Now go out and get yourself abreast with that news making rounds. Now 937 Nigerians killed, 2.2 million adopted in 1 year. That's from the NBS. And the writer reads, says kidnappers ranked in 2.2 trillion naira ransom. Presidency, military, police silent. Now, the third writer says what FG should do. That's a security expert, and that's a skill given on all the numbers on the Daily Trust. Now, below the foot of the Daily Trust says banks restrict multiple account holders to 20,000 naira withdrawal. I do not understand. With my money again or your money again. So there's a particular amount. Are you kidding me? But let's see how well this will play out. All right. And below that it says Jigawa uncovers 6,348 ghost workers receiving 3.7 billion naira, and that you'll find on page 9. CCT, don't undermine court process, lawyers tell Tinubu. And on page 5, it says why Shonaki, Sinkoki helicopter crashed in Port Harcourt. And that's from NSIB. And that's on page 5 on the Daily Trust. Please go out and get yourself a copy and be well abreast with the news making round. And with that, we have to wrap up the newspaper review segment. Right, Ramsey? And up next is Global Morning continues. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
on your way to success? Well, success have many brothers, but failure is an orphan. You will never be a failure, and you can never be a failure. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and today we want to look at a very simple stance. What am I going to talk about today? I want to encourage us that we don't have to wait for motivation before we take action. You don't have to wait for motivation before you take action or do the right thing that you need to do. If you must be successful, because you need to act, number one, you need to act very fast based on what you want to achieve. Because everyone have what they are built and designed for. We have a lot of people who are jealous of what we have, who we are, where we are, and what we have been wired to do, or what we have been destined to become. It's very clear. So sometimes that you are waiting for motivation. Motivation can come from either of these people, unknown to you that these persons are actually there to talk you down indirectly. There are some motivations, some healing. That's why I tell people all the time, don't be carried away by praises. Some people can praise you into damnation. Yes. Some people can praise you into the pit. There are people that because they praise them, because they heal them, because of applause, they are nowhere to be found today. They are off the stage already. So what we have to do, the number one thing that you need to do is don't wait for motivation, act first. And motivation will follow. All right? There is a secret for successful people. And successful people may not even tell you this. They don't feel motivated every day. That's the truth. Ask the richest man in the world today. He don't feel motivated every day. Sometimes you need to motivate yourself, encourage yourself in what you are doing. They act their way into motivation. Motivation is not the starting line. It is the result of the movement. All right? That's when motivation comes. When you are successful, everyone wants to identify with you. When you are successful, you are a newsmaker already. Everyone wants to be your friend, but you need to be careful. Choose your friends carefully and don't allow your friends choose you. Because a lot of people may want to be your friend because you are a successful man. A lot of people want to claim to be your motivators. They are the ones motivating you. Guy, I need to be careful. All right? Wedding happens after you begin. Because first of all, you need to believe in what you are doing. The confidence has to be there before you can even do what you are doing correctly. If not, you fidget on stage. He said in his own case, he didn't feel very confident when he first started. He didn't fancy tools, but he showed up. And the more he acted, the more motivated he became. All right? What you need to do is build confidence yourself. And confidence built consistently have a long way to go. Don't be scared. See, sometimes God puts something in you and your environment may not look it. Your size may not even look it. Do you know when somebody is telling you, this one, what can he offer? This one from this village, I knew when this person was born. A lot of people are going to say so many things, but you need to be confident of yourself because you know what you carry on your inside, you know what you are made up of, you know what God told you are going to become. You know what? See, build confidence consistently. Always be confident of yourself. Because action, by the time you begin to put in that action, it creates clarity. When you move, ideas flow. Right? Someone can attest to what I'm saying right now. But when you sit still, fear grows. I want to say that again. When you move, when you take action, ideas flow. That's why some people will tell you, before I even got on stage, well, I didn't even look at my script anymore because I was just flowing, it was because you got on the stage the first time and confidence came unknown to you. That's what it means. Okay? When you move, ideas will begin to flow. When you take that idea, you begin to break it down, an idea begin to flow. When you move, ideas do what? Flow. But when you are still, fear grows on your inside. So even if you don't feel like it, just take one small step today. Send maybe do one or two things that you feel this could actually boost whatever it is you're doing. Stop waiting for the perfect people. Because the perfect people may not be those people motivating you. Sometimes you are doing the wrong thing and some people are saying, wow, well, you did well. But you are doing the wrong thing that is about destroying your future. I wonder what happened on social media these days. You see some people misbehaving, some people doing things that will take their lives, that will lead them to condemnation, destruction. And some people are there hailing them. Be careful the kind of comments people make on your post. Some of them are not encouraging. Some of them are there to talk you down. You need to be careful. Build confidence yourself. Believe in yourself. Trust in what you are doing. Trust in yourself. Trust in God first. Yeah, trust in God first, then believe in yourself. That's it. Trust God, then believe in yourself. You will get to your destination, and that is very, very important. So everyone that is clapping for you is not all of them that believe in your dream, but you need to be very, very careful. That's what it is. As people are clapping for you, as people are saying, go on, go on, go on, go on. Hey, you did very well. That thing you are doing, I like that, your lifestyle. Keep it up. Oh. Something that is not good, something that the society frowns at. Some people are encouraging you to be naked on social media. That is disastrous. And the same you is looking for a husband. Tell me, does it match? Does it really feel good? Or you want to, let me just leave it at that. Whatever you're doing today, be careful the kind of people that cheer you up. Be careful of motivation. Be careful of hand clap. Be careful of unnecessary healing. Examine yourself. Test yourself. Check what you are doing. But I want you to know that you need to get on the stage, get on that assignment, get on that job, get on that duty, get on that your job description, and just keep moving on it. Ideas will flow. But if you stay stagnant, I tell you the truth, fear will grow in you and build up, and before you know, a destiny has been killed and destroyed. That's not a portion. That's not a portion at all. You are a mobile success, going somewhere to happen. Don't allow anyone talk you down. Congratulations once again. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Welcome back. As a matter of fact, let's quickly look at the issue of food in Nigeria, the suffering of the people, food security. It's one of the things that the president have said it is now time to declare state of emergency on food. And as a matter of fact, so many things happening. Some people are saying, well, the economy has picked up. Some other persons are saying there are people who cannot even afford their daily meal. And of course, this has become a very worrisome situation. But then so many things are happening, and we are sure that as Nigerians, we will always keep our fingers crossed to see how people are responding. This is one thing. Like it's been promised severally that monies were going to be sent to the poorest of the poor in Nigeria. Now, what are the indices? What would the authorities use to know who is the poorest of the poor in Nigeria? Those into whose hand these things will be committed, how sincere would they be? Who is going to hold them accountable? Let me take us back a little bit to the days of the anchor borrowers, the days of the school feeding programs that was held across the country. First of all, you think of what is the initiative all about? What is the federal government trying to achieve? Is it to ensure that students don't leave school hungry or don't stay hungry in school? Or is it to boost our educational sector? All of this put together, then the first thing that you should be thinking about is if all of these are the things that need to be put in place to ensure this program goes down well. Who is supervising? Who is monitoring? Who is holding who accountable? There was a meeting I attended, I think more like a press briefing, and people were giving reports, certain people that have supervised and monitored the process independently were giving their reports, and it will be shocking for you to know that a lot didn't really go down well with the school feeding program especially, because there were a lot of diversions. You remember, that program was even cut short before the suspension of the minister, all right, of humanitarian. But then the question we are asking is this: if you say you want to feed people, for how long would the federal government keep feeding the people? All right, what would they do to feed the people? How would they feed the people? Who is going to be in charge of the feeding? And as a matter of fact, it was a wonderful moment because Nigerians are hungry. We're talking just yesterday, and someone said, well, the price of staple food is dropping, to an extent. And someone has said, it's not all about the price dropping because probably the borders were open. But then, can our farmers now go to farm? Because that's where our major source of feeding comes from. Our staple food comes from the farm as Nigerians, apart from the ones that are being imported. How many people have enough money to buy this staple food, irrespective of the prices? If you say they are cheap enough, how many people can actually afford it? The wife of the vice president represented the wife of the president in Imo State to give food to people who really need them, all right? And you can see the excitement.
Of course.
That's to tell you of how hungry Nigerians are. And people will always take. But then, this is Nigeria. How many people will say, all right, I am not a welfare material. Let me not go for this. Okay, there are churches, there are mosques that give out welfare to their members.
Of course.
I know a couple of times the card, because they give card, like in my own place, they give card, then you take the card there, and of course you're given food items. But how many people will say, well, I have at least what to eat today? Somebody that doesn't have at all should take. Like what happened in Imo State. How were they able to know the people? It was a good one.
No,
it was a good
fantastic.
initiative. And the people were excited about it.
Yeah.
But can we now say that the vulnerable people, the vulnerable persons in Imo State, all partook in that welfare, all right, that package? This is one of the things we should be asking of right now. Hajia was there. You can see a lot of people benefited. And one very good thing about this initiative is the fact that it will help people, all right, handle the food security situation that we have in the country. And of course, I want to give it to Hajia Nana Shetima, who represented the wife of the president in Imo State. What do you think? This is just Imo State.
Yes.
We have about 36 states, and a lot of people are vulnerable in Nigeria.
Oh, yes.
Is this the best way to go? We are not faulting this initiative.
No, we are not.
But what we are saying is, how can this be improved on?
Yes.
And how can everyone be reached? Because there are people, as we are speaking right now, there are some people who have not eaten since yesterday.
Of course.
It's possible, even in the FCT.
Of course. And I will tell you for free that for as much as you see these vulnerable people here lined up, there are some vulnerable people in that state who did not benefit from that and they are still hungry. So to push this forward, for as much as this is an amazing initiative to give back, of course, the Renewed Hope Initiative is doing a lot when it comes to housing, when it comes to education, when it comes to empowerment program, when it comes to palliatives and all of that. But Ramsey, you see, even the Holy Book says sometimes it's better to teach someone how to fish. You are going to eat all of this. It's going to finish. How can you sustain that from? These are vulnerable individuals who do not have. I feel for as much as you will do this, there should be a plan B, because sometimes it's tiring when you keep giving and giving and giving and there's no output. You're not receiving anything back in return. The same people keep coming again, over and over and again, not having a source of livelihood. I think more can be done by, you know, keeping them busy with a source of livelihood, to learn how to fish. When I say fish, learn how to make money, go into do something that can bring back, so you can add worth to you. These are the unrepresented groups, yes, because they feel they do not have a voice. Please, enough of pity party. When it comes to issues like this, I think we can, for as much as this is amazing, when you give someone food, you have done a lot for that person and the household. You do not know what that person has been going through. Yeah, I understand. But at the same time, I think they should be more equipped when it comes to their hands and skills. I'm a promoter of skill acquisition because it goes a long way. Some of them can learn how to, because I saw some, they were individuals in the wheelchair and all of this, people living with disabilities. But at the same time, people with disabilities, pardon me, not living but with disabilities, but at the same time, they can add self-worth to them, to their lives. They can actually make a difference in society. For as much as you give palliatives, amazing, but at least they should have something they are doing that is in their hands that can generate more and more and more, much more than you can ever imagine. That will go a long way for me. For as much as this is fantastic, but I think that will go a long way for them to have that self-worth and self-value in our society.
Yes, the issue of food security in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. But then the problem is how we can actually get back to our farms. We heard, I think there was a video I saw where there was supposed to be a peace deal between, I think, farmers in a particular community and these terrorists, so they could go back to farm. Some people said there is some form of taxes that is being paid by these farmers to go to farm, to carry out their farming activities. Because there are some communities in Nigeria that they don't do anything apart from farming. That's their only means of livelihood. Yeah. Places like that, when they don't go to farm again, how will they survive?
Exactly.
These are some of the questions that we are asking.
Exactly.
Then the issue of food. One of the things, the indices that you can use to measure the growth, the economic growth of most nations is how well the people are living, the living condition of the people. You know, there are certain things that will be going on in this country. If people are living fine, nobody will even bother whether anybody is siphoning money or not, whether there is corruption or not, because everyone is comfortable.
Exactly.
But the problem is that essential commodities are not there, you know, like food, you know, talk about social amenities like our roads, the health sector, education. Let's have these basics. These are basics. In some other countries of the world, this is something that is a priority of the government. The government is proud when they have things like that in place. But in our own country, you can see that the health sector, we talked about it already.
Yes, we did.
Are even on strike. Our educational sector, in FCT here, primary school teachers were on strike for a very long time. Primary healthcare was on strike. In advanced countries, if anything results to these essential workers going on strike, maybe the head, the leader, would even want to resign, because in some countries, it's been looked at as
injustice.
Maybe injustice, or as if the person is not capable.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yes.
It means you're not capable of handling
that
that office.
Exactly.
And they resign voluntarily.
Exactly. And that is it. You know, when you see these things, like, you wonder, you hear that the Prime Minister somewhere has resigned because he feels that he's not giving value, he's not professional enough, he's not capable enough, he's not giving back. You see, it's not all, see, that's the thing. People have various mindsets. Some will tell you, like here in Nigeria, it's all about what I can put in my pocket and go home. Who the people I can take care of, family members, children. You know, we hear of snakes swallowing money. We don't know where that is, or this. We hear of all of these things. But you know, outside the shores of Nigeria, these individuals who are in power live very simple life. They're like you and I on the streets. A friend of mine in Greece was telling me, Jumai, I just saw one of a prominent person. He was riding a bike, Ramsey. Here we have to have a lot of security individuals following one person. And you see, that's the thing. When you are in office, it's not all about what you can get. It's not all about what you can get. What impact have you made? What legacy have you made? Fine, no one is saying that don't do this, don't do that, but are you giving back? These individuals that swore and said they will fight tooth and nail to see you on that seat, what are you giving them in return? Your word, all the promises that you have made, are they still in? You see, that's the thing. When you do not have a conscience, you just do whatever you want. But when you have a conscience, do you know that when you're doing the right thing and you're siphoning money, nobody will even look at you. Nobody cares. Because one, he's doing the right thing. There are no lapses anywhere. So what are you talking? If I want you to tell somebody that, oh my God, give an example. This governor is eating so much money. And someone will tell you, are you okay? What do you mean when he's doing the right thing? No one will look at you. But once you are greedy, that's the thing. I know, our MD used to say something. He said, Juma, when it comes to money, everyone is greedy. Yeah, but some people have integrity that will not allow that to jeopardize their name for them. For as much as, everybody wants to be comfortable. Everyone wants to live in a beautiful house, have lovely cars. But at the same time, when you are put in the position, do you forget all of that? Do you forget where you are coming from? Do you forget how you went and you asked people, oh, vote me into power, do all of this? Do you forget all of that? Just give back. You always say it, Nigerians, we're not asking for too much when it comes to basic amenities. Give us our water, give us the light, give us transport fare. Let our food let it not fluctuate all the time up and down. Like you said, if everyone is comfortable in the society, there will be no problems at all. We'll have less of these attacks and all of that. It's joblessness and unemployment that causes all of these things. So really, once you're in power, compared outside the shores of Nigeria, they have that feel of what a fellow citizen is going through. They feel it, and they feel they're not competent enough to be in that seat if they're not giving back the right way. But it is what it is, though.
This is what it is. I think we should at least by now be using some things to measure whether or not there is enough food for people to eat now, whether enough, a lot of people are receiving arms from the government, because the government will always say, well, we would take care of the vulnerable Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians are vulnerable now. Get to the road. I think one of the things that I've actually learned from this economic situation is that now even the so-called jeeps on the highway stop to pick passengers this day. In FCT, I don't know of other places, and it's cool. It's okay. In as much as this situation is making a lot of people have good sense. Now, what about the issue of food shortage, the vulnerable Nigerians? Every time when we talk, we are speaking for the people because we interact and interface with these persons
every day.
Oftentimes, you know, so we know what they are going through. Like we're talking about food distribution right now, like it happened in Imo State. What about Benue State? What about Kogi State? What about Kwara State? We have these vulnerable people all the time. I could remember then when there was flood in Sokoto State, a lot of people were rushing to donate and all of that. You see relief materials and all of that. But do we have to wait until there is disaster before we give arms or maybe support people who are vulnerable? Okay, this morning, on the paper, the last paper that we took this morning, we heard that 2.2 trillion naira was carted away, was raped. The word used was raped by terrorists in the name of ransom. The same people who are looking for what to eat are still the same people who run from one place to the other, sell their things that they would have used to live a better life sell them all to make sure these ransoms are being paid because they love their family members. So instead of eating, instead of using that food to get what to eat, use it to save a life. So I think one thing that is very necessary right now is let's make it such that everyone can afford something. Our roads, people should be able to transport, because the reason why you even have this high cost, even though we have people who are greedy, like you said earlier, who have made the prices of food, staple food especially, exorbitant in the market.
Yeah.
Just because they want to make profit, because they want to take advantage
Not
of the
just profit, a
situation.
lot of profit.
A lot of profit. And some of the reasons they will give to you is where we transported this
Exactly.
from a very far place
Exactly.
to Nigeria
Exactly.
and all of that.
Exactly.
The cost of living, take Kano State for instance, the cost of living is, see, Nigerians are very strong people.
Yes, we are.
Nigerians.
We're very tough.
You see, people can do anything, most things, legitimately to feed. You get to Kano, for instance, you see elderly people, carrying load, doing one trade or the other just to feed in this country. So how much more if we have an enabling environment, a stable economy, where people have the money enough to do this business, to do this trading? Where is the power supply?
Exactly.
If you want to do a business today, where is the power supply? If you want to move these goods now, like these goods you are seeing now, let's say for instance, you want to move them in a truck from Kano to maybe Benue or to Lagos, for instance, how safe is the road? What is the price of fuel? What's the price of gas? What's the price of diesel?
Exactly.
So you put all of this together, then you begin to wonder, what can we even point to say, well, this one is suitable or good enough for Nigerians to at least live a better life?
That's the question. You see, that's like food for thought. All of these things are important in one way or the other. You cannot leave one and say, I'll take one and leave one. They are all intertwined together, Ramsey. So the thing is, you just wonder and you say to yourself, what can you do as an individual to make it better? Just do your part. Just play your part, your role in which you've been given. Just play it well to make life easier. You have that conscience to do that. And I'm sure I saw, it wasn't a skit, it was a football, football. For those of you football lovers, you that you are ahead of football, not my thing, but I watch and I see, please. So it was raining and these footballers they were standing and there were children in front of them. You know how they do it now to support them.
The ball boys.
The ball. You see, these things. Me, I don't know. So the ball boys were in front and I'm going to tell you something I learned from that. And the players were behind the ball boys and it was raining. Seriously, it was raining. And then one of the players removed his jacket and covered one of the ball boys. His teammates saw that, removed his jacket and covered the other, and that was how it was, that thread.
All of them were covered.
All of them were covered. Now, those ball boys are the masses. We are the ones under the rain, feeling the brunt of everything that is going on when it comes to high cost of living, unemployment, instability, inflation of food, no light, data rise. All of these things encompass. Those ball boys are the masses. Now, the players are the ones in governance, the ones that can set things right, that can do the needful when it comes to delivery, when it comes to service. Now, you see those ones in place, it takes one person to make a difference. It takes one or two people to start the trend of doing the right thing. That was why one of the players took off his jacket, covered one.
And others took you.
And others took you. What am I trying to say? If one person or two people start to make that trend, when you said something about transportation, this, play your part.
Play your part.
And those boys were happy. They felt safe. They were covered under the shade. That is all we want as the masses. But, all we need is one or two people do the right thing.
Even though when you start doing the right thing, there are some people that may even want to laugh at you.
Of course.
They'll call you names.
Of course.
But since you know what you're doing and you're trying to save life, put a smile on someone's face.
Let your conscience be
make
your
Nigeria
guide.
a good nation. You should just go ahead and do it.
Do the right thing. And then once you start the right thing, because it took one person to do the right thing.
Then others follow.
And guess what? His teammate looked at him and saw that it was good and saw the smile on that boy's face. We're the masses. Once you start the right thing, you see how happy we and Nigerians, we are so grateful to little things that you do. You might do something horrible, but if you do something nice now,
they forget everything.
What are you saying? We forget because we're happy people, and then that's the thing. But it's just unfortunate that this is where we are. Some people want to do the right thing, but because of the bad lucks around them, they cannot. Some people have integrity. They have a conscience. They don't like what is happening, even when they cannot help it. There's nothing they can do. But once you start, I'm sure others will follow. So it's when you lead.
You're reminding me of Natasha. What Natasha is doing in Kogi State, even when she was
she's doing a lot.
On suspension,
She was doing so much. She
was
doing a lot.
On return, she kept doing.
Oh,
and
yes.
I keep wondering.
She's from my state, by the way.
Someone asked a question. Yes. Someone from my state wrote on social media. He said, are other senators not seeing what Natasha is doing?
Exactly.
Somebody from my own state wrote that, and I saw it and I smiled and walked away.
She's doing a lot, by the way.
So as it is, it's good to emulate good things.
Oh,
all right.
yes.
It's good to emulate good things, even though some persons may even want to call you names. And if you want to belong to a clique, know the kind of clique you belong to. Because there are some clique that if you enter, all the good things you have in your head will be formatted.
You know, one of my...
And you join the gang and you begin to do what everybody is doing, and they will tell you, this is how we do it. You are overdoing. Please keep doing the right thing that you were voted into office to do. Let's ensure that hunger becomes a thing of the past.
Very
in
important,
Nigeria.
very important. It's achievable, really it is.
All right, let's go on a quick break. After this break, Global Morning continues. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning. Welcome back. It's Global Morning, and this is the second discuss of the day. Now, what comes to mind when you hear maritime security? Now, seafarer training for national development. Now, moving on, maritime security ensures the safe and lawful use of seas and coastal zones. Now, this addresses threats such as piracy, smuggling, illegal fishing, terrorism, and environmental hazards. Now, strong maritime security frameworks protects national waters, safeguard trade routes, and secure offshore resources. Now, reliable maritime governance strengthens a nation's strategic position and economic resilience. Now, if you're wondering, seafarers training, now they are critical to global shipping and port operational, high quality training aligned with international standards such as development, competent maritime professionals capable of operating modern vessels, responding to emergencies, and protecting the marine environment. Now, investing in seafarers' education builds a skilled workforce. It boosts employability and enhances safety at sea. Now, for national development, if you're wondering, a secure and well-managed maritime domain supports sustainable national development. Now, strong maritime security protects commercial shipping, which underpins international trade. A well-trained seafaring workshop contributes to employment, gives and gains foreign earnings through overseas deployment and improved port and logistic efficiency. Now, together, maritime security and seafarer training drive the growth of the blue economy. It strengthens national sovereignty and enhances global competitiveness. Now, if you're wondering about the integrated views, now maritime security safeguards the nation's marine interests. Seafarers training provides the human capital needed to operate safely and competitively. Both are essential pillars for national development, enabling economic growth, regional stability, and sustainable use of marine resources. Today on the program, I am being joined by Deck Cadet David Wubong Igbiji, and of course, he's joining me on the program. How are you doing, David? Good morning, Cadet.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
All right. Now, I want to ask a question. What is maritime security? What's that all about? Because I know that you are a mariner and a participant in the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program. So if for someone out there wondering, what is that? What is maritime security?
Okay, very good question. Maritime security refers to the protection of the nation's coastline and shores and seas, as well as port infrastructures, the sea routes, and maritime resources from both the manned maritime resources and the natural marine resources as well, such as reefs and the likes, from threats such as piracy, smuggling, terrorism, and illegal fishing, or overfishing, if you may.
Wow. Now, why is maritime security important for national growth and development? For someone who is wondering, we hardly hear of that, or maybe we do, and we don't really put our interest in it. So why is it important for national development and growth?
Okay, great question again. Maritime security is super important. Okay, it cuts across the highs and the lows of the use of the maritime domain. But the most important one, like any other business, there's the importance of trust. There's in shipping, there's what they call the war risk insurance, where shipping companies have to pay greater demurrages or insurance costs in order to operate in waters that are deemed prone to piracy.
Oh, okay.
Like the waters in Somalia, and in the immediate past, in the immediate past years, Nigeria was considered a war risk zone as well. But thanks to the very great initiatives of the people of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency under the supervision of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, the Honorable Minister Oyebotola is doing an amazing job. So in helping Nigeria leave the risk zone and also lobbying for IMO category C. So basically, it ensures maritime security, and all of these policies ensures trade, safeguards offshore resources, and attract investments by maintaining a stable and predictable maritime environment between local shippers as well as international shipping companies that are looking to do business.
Interesting. And then, of course, you are a deck. I hope I'm pronouncing it, a deck cadet.
Yes, deck cadet.
Okay, deck cadet. And then now, what is the role of seafarers training in the maritime industry? For someone who is wondering, a seafarer, what's that all about?
Okay. You have pretty amazing questions. So now the general professional term is mariners, right? Which goes across all the the portfolios or all the departments. So as a mariner, there's different roles. You have the engineers, you have the administrators, which is where NIMASA comes in, the port state control inspectors and all of that. But seafaring itself is seafaring equips seafarers with the training and, this is the key word, competence, in order to safely operate vessels, ships, and the likes, okay, and to safely operate and navigate ships from point A to point B successfully, right? So the training itself to meet up with international standards is where the skills and knowledge needed for safe navigation, ship operation, emergency response, and compliance with international standards. These standards are called STCWs, which are the standards for training and certification of watchkeepers. And the regulations are being put in place by the International Maritime Organization, which I'm sure you already know is a subsection of the United Nations.
Interesting. When you hear maritime, when you hear seafarers, when you hear the blue economy, what comes to mind is some people will tell you it has a very big economic impact. Now, how does maritime security protect economic activities in a nation? How can you combine them, or how does it work in tandem, or how does it work really?
Okay. Well, the maritime security, for example, the C4I, which is the Command, Control, and Computer Center of the NIMASA and the Nigerian Navy, helps prevent disruption to shipping routes. Okay. So we're talking about the Gulf of Guinea. It's best to be very particular with the Nigerian shipping sector. It helps prevent disruption of the shipping route. We saw a situation where a ship was actually flagged as being malicious, and they had to escape. And because of the complexity and the rigidity of the security architecture of the C4I, that ship was tracked all the way down to Lome, if I remember correctly. Please don't quote me on this. It's a while back, and the ship was the captain and the crew members were taken into custody and repatriated back to Nigeria, and where they faced questions and interrogations in order to ascertain the nature of the activities that were going on. And these are one of the very many instances where maritime security prevents the disruption of shipping routes and allow trustability or trust in the nation's trade deals, and ensures the safety of the seafarers and crews. Right?
Okay, now.
And also.
Okay, go ahead.
To add, it also. Okay, but you go first.
No, I wanted to ask about international standards guide for the seafarers training. That's the part I want to ask.
Okay.
So.
Right. So the STCW Convention, Standard for Training and Certification of Watchkeepers, provides somewhat of a global benchmark, let's say a reference point, if you may, for training and certification as well as competencies of seafarers. So it's not like, oh, okay, because people are from Nigeria, you have your own training, and then people are from Philippines. No, it's the waters are kind of different. This is what most people do not know. The sea is not the same. It's not fluid.
Really?
It's fluid. Point intended. Yes. So the sea is not fluid in terms of characteristics. It's not the same here and there. We have what they call the fresh waters, and we have what they call the salt waters. And then also we have turbulent and not so navigable seas, such as if you go down south towards South Africa, those waters are rife with a lot of high tides and turbulence as well as shark infestation. But if you look at some other aspects of the other seas, you have the Magellan Strait, which is as peaceful as. Okay, so the Magellan Strait is kind of rough as well, and then you have the Pacifics, and then the seas in North America. It's kind of different, where there's cold, and then you have the icebergs and so on and so forth. So there should be a particular standard. So we're not only, for example, if you want to have a formidable maritime force, right? A formidable maritime manpower that caters to the global trade and logistic needs. You need to have seafarers that even if you're from the tropics, you can sail successfully and safely in the Arctics. And this is what our Indian and Philippine brothers have, to a considerable extent, built, resilience in. And Nigeria, with the Nigeria Seafarers Development Program, is, making very long strides to catch up in that aspect. It's guided by the STCW of the International Maritime Organization.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the training. Now, I know we spoke about that, but I really want to know. I know you spoke about the standards of training certification and watch keeping for seafarers. Now, how does seafarer training contribute to national development?
All right. Great. Skills, employability, and support for the maritime sector and increasing the exchange earnings. So basically, the International Maritime Organization provides a benchmark for how seafarers are, paid, right? The salary structure and all of that.
Okay.
And
I'm sure you're not going to tell us if it's huge or small or. Let's leave that out. Let's leave that out, David.
Yeah, there are no specifications on the pay structure.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Right. But, right. Well, we can say now that most seafarers are not. Some seafarers complain that it's not much. It's not big enough to accommodate the risks. But anyway, that's a discussion for some other time.
off camera. It's fine. It's fine.
Right. So the employability. So basically, how many countries can allow Nigerian seafarers to operate in their waters and man their vessels? And then the competencies. How many of these Nigerian trained seafarers, both the ones that were trained with the NSDP and the ones that were trained locally in the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, which, by the way, is a global standard now. And then how many of these certificate of competencies allows for not only near coastal voyages but international voyages as well. So that's why we have the different categories of the International Maritime Organization. And recently, the agency, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, has, under the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, has tried to, throw in their heart for a consideration as IMO Class C. And the deliberations are still ongoing. And with that, once we're accepted in, Category C or Class C, we will definitely be at more advantage. Nigeria becomes a global exporter, not only seafaring, not only petroleum, but also seafaring.
I like the sound of that. As long as it brings national development, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Now, what are the major threats to marine and maritime security? You know, there are threats. You know, I know a lot. I think I can remember one, piracy. But what are the major threats that face on to maritime security?
Yeah, great. Another great question. So, piracy being number one, you've seen Captain Phillips, right? Oh, look at me, I'm the captain now. Piracy, and then the immediate past, we saw militancy. There's also armed robbery, like basically armed robbery. That's mostly along the coast. You know, armed robbery. There's smuggling. Yes, this is super important. Smuggling, you know, trade actors smuggle all sorts of things. Okay, we're talking about, you hear about insecurity, you hear about the bandits having, you know, weapons that they're not supposed to have, and all of these things. You know, smuggling of arms, wildlife, and even human beings is a very huge threat to security. So, you know, and it plays a pivotal and very important. It's very important for the authorities as well as the Nigerian Navy and all the coast guards to collectively combat provide maritime security. The other aspect of illegal fishing. So we talked about some marine reserves and you know, like endangered species, as well as, you know, a lot more. Some persons fish illegally. Some go whale hunting. Some people pollute the ocean, whereby some vessels tend to release into the sea the ballast waters. Ballast water is basically water that's used to stabilize the ship, right? So some vessels tend to, you know, all of these are guided by international laws, and that's all criminal offense and prosecutable. So these are the maritime security threats that the maritime sector faces.
Now, I want to ask a question when it comes to the maritime security threats and all of that. So, what are measures put in place to actually curb these? Because these are all menace when it comes to insecurity. So, what measures do you think have been put in place to curb them?
Okay, I've mentioned the C4I.
Okay.
That's one of the measures. Then we also have the maritime, the other program that was, that's been funded by the EU. Then we see, continuous training and course upgrade of the Maritime Guard Command, which is a subdivision of the Nigerian Navy.
Yeah. Okay.
As a partnership with the Nigerian Maritime Administration Safety Agency. This all comes together to provide a formidable security architecture and secure the Gulf of Guinea beyond the borders of just Nigeria alone. We're talking about other African, even ECAS, it cuts across the ECOWAS states as well as the ECAS. So we can, to some extent, say our Navy and a global fleet, and we are dominating the African seas.
Fantastic. Now, how does good maritime governance strengthen maritime security?
Okay. Maritime governance strengthen in terms of, corruption is it's a cancer that cuts across all sectors, right?
True.
And if we can combat that aspect, we will have good governance, right? We have also equitable distribution of resources. We have inclusivity. So it shouldn't just be one, you're close to the sea, right? You're the ones that will be the seafarers now. We have seafarers from the Sahara and those that are coming in from the deserts as well. Our brothers up north are at sea with us. In fact, any Nigerian stand a chance to be a seafarer, a successful one if they may. And this this is just, we talk about seafaring, right? So then we'll talk about the port infrastructure, complete, continuous maintenance, upgrade to meet global standards and practices, acquisition of, larger vessels to accommodate more containers, for example. Dredging is very important, right? We have this with very good terrain. We have the Niger and the Benue River. If these rivers are dredged to international standards, to let's say a depth of 11 meters, or deeper, to 19 meters, for example, which is the ambitious target of the APAPA, the Lekki port. If we can dredge our rivers to the allowable depths, it will provide an avenue for vessels to not only bed freely, they can actually venture more inward. So you have a situation, I foresee the vision of Nigeria where a VLCC, which is a very large crude area, or Panamax, which are the bigger containers vessel, can safely make its way into a port in Kogi State. This is the vision that I see in Nigeria. I also see a vision where the Calabar Free Trade Zone will house not only 1, 2, or 3 Panamax, but it will have basically multiple and more. And then the Benue River would be utilized to its capacity, where you will see vessels and cruise ships sailing in Benue State and Kogi State and meet the confluence states as well. All of these are various avenues, various opportunities that could open Nigeria to a whole new realm of economics. We could at some point act as the maritime tourism hub of the future.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
We have the potential.
Are you sure? Are you sure we have the potential, David?
Absolutely, we do have the potential.
But are we putting them in best practices? Because when you hear seafarers, sometimes people are wondering, what's that all about? You're not so many, are you?
Exactly. There's a huge shortage of seafarers that are. In fact, we're not globally recognized yet. Okay, like you said, we've not. IMO category C will provide an avenue for that, but what we have right now, we have over 11,900 seafarers that have been completed and internationally trained by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency since its inception of the Nigeria Seafarers Development Program.
Okay.
We're talking about individuals from all geopolitical zones of Nigeria, right? And the 11,900, officers and cadets that are manning that are enforcing the Cabotage Act, which basically helps to integrate indigents or locals with shipping companies that are doing business in Nigeria waterways. So this Cabotage Act is an act that is enforced by the International Maritime Organization, and it's localized and adopted by the Port State Control, which is the NIMASA.
Okay.
Right.
Now, how does maritime security support international trade? I know you're not well recognized, like you said, but of course there is a category and it's ongoing. It's a training program for national development and growth. But how does maritime security support that international trade when it comes to that aspect?
Okay. Well, an American vessel or a Chinese shipping company, right? No, let's call it AP Moller Maersk, which is from the EU. When they're looking to do business in Nigeria, they need to make sure that their investments is secure. That means point A to point B successfully and back, right? their ships will not be boarded by unknown gunmen. Their cargo will get to their destination, thereby increasing the trust of their customers. They will not have to, call the insurance to claim big money just because their vessel went derelict, or they had to throw some things overboard because their vessel got grounded because the water was shallow and all of that. So basically, maritime security on the whole sphere is basically the backbone of maritime activities, right? There's no two ways. The water is not safe and secure. No shipping company, no country will want to do business there. Somalian pirates made that threat became so severe that the American Navy, made that an AOC, area of operation or area of contingency. So where the American Navy became very active there, and which helped combat the Somalian piracy. Now, there's also the other instances where, for example, after the 9/11 event, the Seafarer Designated Security Duty certification became mandatory. This certificate, empowered and informed and sensitized seafarers on the global standards for recognition of terrorism, mitigation, as well as avoidance of terrorism and terrorist acts. So all of these certifications together, I can't speak too much of it.
I understand.
But you get the point.
Let's talk a bit about ports now. What role do ports play in national development?
Great question again. Basically, if a ship is leaving Amsterdam, for example, right, and is heading to Nigeria, it needs a place to berth or anchor, right? Especially if it's a if it's a container ship, it needs a port to berth and discharge its cargoes, right? You use the derricks and the cranes to bring the containers to shore. This is where the ports come in. Ports facilities should make that activity not only fast, it should be done in ample time, because every second, every minute is money for ships. So every single second, there's a lot of money. And we're not talking about thousands or even hundreds of thousands. We're talking about millions of dollars in goods going through the sea. In fact, I'm sure there's one item you're putting on right now, Jumai, that is probably that was shipped from the sea. So out of every 3 items you see, the chances are 2 items were shipped by sea. So
really?
all of this, people need their rights, people need their bins, people need their cement and their sheets, and they need it now.
Really?
So,
wow.
The ports have to provide avenues where those things are not only rapidly discharged, it also provides avenues where those things can quickly and safely reach their final destination.
Very true. Unless you didn't mention cars. You didn't mention cars. You didn't mention cars.
Exactly. Someone in Bornu can order a car, and it can, there should be access road to the ports that will take that car from Calabar, for example, to Bornu.
Exactly. Now let's talk about investments. Now, how can investments in maritime education benefit a country?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I said let's talk about investments now. How can investment in maritime education benefit a country?
Oh yeah, well, the global exchange earning, the global earnings is one aspect of it, and also national pride. So I'm very happy to, I got trained, luckily, through the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program. Our training were in European standards, and I have colleagues like Captain Andre and Danut Accente and the rest of them that are working for AP Moller Maxon. So basically, this standard, it's a thing of joy, it's a thing of pride that you have, world-class training, seafarers that have authority at sea. Recently, we saw the Director General of the International Maritime Organization visit Nigeria, and he had a cross-tables fetch Maritime Academy of Nigerian Cadets. That is huge. That is a huge morale boost, okay, for Nigerian seafarers, the younger seafarers that are looking to have a career at sea, to sit with, for the lack of any other word, I'll call them potential contemporaries in the field and colleagues, and have the confidence that their execution is not just some belt up thing in the classroom, but it's something that you can see your colleagues with different races and different backgrounds coming together to collectively navigate the vessel from point A to point B safely. It's a thing of joy. It's a thing of, because we spend our life as seafarers. We are out there at sea, okay? Through the high seas and the low seas, we're there.
Yeah.
Like the turbulence, there's always that bro bonding.
Not to talk of the risk involved, David.
The risk involved.
I see that. Oh my goodness.
Other than from piracy, there's the inherent risk that the element itself, poses. We call it the act of God. There's also the act of God. We have wrecks. We have capsizing. We have we have a lot of turbulence, and then man overboard situations, and so on and so forth. These all collectively build confidence to allow man to continue to venture into the vastness of our oceans.
Now, David, I want to know, for someone out there who is just joining us and is wondering, what is the relationship between maritime security and environmental protection? Quickly now.
Oh, yeah. Environmental protection is another aspect. Okay, there's MAPO, Marine, there's the MAPO Convention, Marine Pollution. So, so your question is, what is the correlation between security and marine protection?
Yes.
I got it correct.
The difference, yes,
okay,
please.
So MAPO deals conserving natural resources from pollution and pollutants, and security deals with prevention of malicious actors.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I want to quickly ask you all of these questions before we wrap it up. Now, how does a secure maritime domain attract foreign investments?
Investors can have confidence in the ship routes. When the maritime transport, offshore operations, and trade routes are protected from risks and instability. That's called case in point. The Gulf of Guinea being secured and recorded the lowest ever recorded piracy activity since 1994.
Really?
Yes. So we basically, in 2021, if I remember, we brought piracy to 0. That's a huge win. In an area where the Niger Delta militants were there, and there was a lot of kidnapping and all of that. All of a sudden, the place became a hub, and now we can see a lot of activities increasing. We're seeing the Navy, recording very low, piracy activities, and then you can see more development is coming in terms of port expansion, integration, as well as dredging activities. It wouldn't have been possible if every digging, you see 2 militants or 3 pirates come to take your ship and your equipment. You won't make any progress.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
So now, why is coordination important between maritime security and seafarer training institutions?
Okay. Coordination ensures the training program addresses current security challenges, preparing seafarers to prevent and respond to threats effectively. We've talked about this.
Yes, we have.
With the seafarers with designated security duties. Course, for example, that allows for such training. And then we also have, vessels, some commercial civilian vessels that are allowed or licensed to have armed guards on board to deter pirates as well. And this is something that this is a discussion in the maritime community that has been ongoing for a while, that we do need to, whether the discussion or debate whether or not to arm seafarers, when these programs continue. But with an effective port state control, as well as a good naval fleet with close support by the country's coast guard, it will reduce the need for arming seafarers with guns and all of that, so they can focus, so we can all focus on safe navigation. That means making sure your car gets to you, your kids' Christmas presents is not late.
Exactly.
Your customers and clients receive their goods on time, and also continue to make life easy for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow. Maritime security, seafarers training, national development has just been broken down by my very good friend, another person, by Cadet David Wubong Egbiji. He is a mariner and a participant in the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program. Thank you so much for being a part of the second segment of Global Morning this beautiful Thursday morning. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you, Jumayan. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. All right. Have an amazing day ahead. All right, with that, that's the second part of Global Morning. Do not go anywhere. The program continues shortly as my co-host Ramsin and I wrap it up. Stay tuned.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning. All right, now, and this brings us to the end of the program, Global Morning. Hope you had an amazing time with us from the newspaper review segment, the AM News, the first, second discussion on the program. And with that, we have to wrap it up. And I am Jumai Manson. But before then, Ramsey will tell us that all opinions, suggestions by our guests is basically their own opinion, not any of Global Television. Like I mentioned before, I am Jumai Manson, and then my co-host
Ramsey Enoch is my name, including the headlines from the various newspapers that we brought to you.
True.
They are entirely that of the newspaper houses, and Global Television does not have an editorial contribution
True.
to it. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.